Thank you very much indeed, Charlie. That has finished Everton 0, West Ham United 1. Now, I make no apologies for repeating myself. I often make analogies with other sports, sometimes rugby, sometimes boxing. And the boxing one I've used is styles make fights. The idea being that what you don't want are two people working off a long jab. Unfortunately, that's what we had today. We had two pragmatic teams today, and I don't think that was a festival of football, and certainly not something that is going to be being first on match of the day too, certainly. But we'll take it because that was a really important game for West Ham. It was really important. I said in the build-up show and certainly in the preview that I was still smarting from the Brentford game. We needed that. Brentford was an important game because Everton was following on the back of it. I don't say that in hindsight. I knew this was going to be really, really important. I like what Benitez is doing at Everton. I don't mean I like it. I don't particularly appreciate the football, but I appreciate what he is doing. I think it's the right manager at the right time at the right club. And I think Everton were without, well, they certainly were without a few of their players. But I think the story today was how were West Ham going to deal without either our first choice two right backs. And I think we did pretty damn well. Really, that's another clean sheet for West Ham, and we seem to be picking them up very, very well indeed. We'll go through the game in sequential order. Look, let's not pretend we're going to be running through 4 or 5 goals here. We're going to be dealing with one goal, and that goal was a header from a corner scored by Angelo Ogbonna. It's a good job it was a corner because I don't think either team were going to score any other way today. As I say, it wasn't a festival of football, certainly, but West Ham were the better team, and we did deserve to win. I was pleased actually for the corner. I was pleased that we were able to get back to what had served us so well last season, of course, which was the set plays, the corners. It felt dangerous. We did feel dangerous from that, and certainly, I think I was very, very pleased with the way that we won the corner because I was pleased with Mikel Antonio contesting the ball with Pickford. Pickford did put the ball out. I know he suggested that he didn't, but I wouldn't expect him to do anything other than that. Because again, I thought Antonio was short of quality today. I thought most of our team was short of quality, but what we weren't short of was endeavour, and we weren't short of aggression and organisation and all those things. And it was just really Antonio's will to win, his desire to challenge the goalkeeper, which got us the corner and in the end got us the win. And that's absolutely okay. If what we can do is when we're not playing well and when we're not clicking and we're not functioning, is still get a win and get it. Well, if we can get a clean sheet, then we're likely to get a win if we're doing so well on the set play, certainly. Anyway, I made it sound like we were abysmal. We weren't. I thought in the first half we were really, really good, albeit without having that cutting edge. The final ball, the final cross, the final shot was poor, but we were up against them. I thought we did something really, really clever, by the way. Sorry, let's just click that up. Thank you very much from Sadadi. He loves Kurt Zuma. What a block at the end, by the way. We'll get to that in just a bit. I thought we were clever in this game. We spoke before in the build-up show to Alan and Doucouré in the middle for Everton, that being a real area of strength for them. Yes, they were missing Calvert-Lewin. Yes, they were missing Richarlison, but I felt very much in the centre of the pitch, they were strong. And West Ham had a way to combat that. And that was just, West Ham thought, well, we're going to decide where we're going to have this fight. And we're just not going to have this fight in the middle of the pitch. We're going to contest this battle out wide. So we circumvented the middle of the pitch and just went wide. And I thought, by and large, we had their number. Well, certainly for all of the first half, I thought they were particularly weak down their right side, our left, particularly when Benrahma and Cresswell were combining down there. I thought they didn't really have an answer. I also thought down our right, their left, if you like, we had Ben Johnson playing at right back. Now, whilst I don't think we particularly Ben Johnson didn't cause them an awful lot of concern with his attacking play. I thought defensively he was really, really good today. A really solid player. If that's our third best right back, then we're doing all right. That's all I can say there. However, again, from wide, and in particular Bowen, we were causing them problems. It was just that final ball, that final little thing that just didn't quite click. But they made a lot of blocks. They made some good blocks. They weren't the only ones, Everton, and we'll talk about West Ham's fantastic blocking in just a minute. But when we got into that final, about to get the ball into the box, I felt our final pass was off, our final cross was off. Ben Rama had a couple of opportunities. His crosshairs were slightly off today. Although, that being said, the best chance I felt at the first half was created by a wonderful Ben Rama run, which was absolutely excellent. The best piece of dribbling throughout the game. I noticed that the commentators were talking about how dangerous Andros Townsend was. Look, Andros Townsend did well, and I'm pleased for Andros Townsend that his career wasn't over. I think he's a nice guy, and I think he's a half decent player. But let's be perfectly honest. If their best attacking was going to come from what was somebody checking back onto his stronger foot and coming back to the infield and swinging a hopeful ball over, then we were going to take that all day long. I don't think we were particularly bothered by it. I think if David Moyes had said, "Well, this is the best way Everton are going to attack," I thought we were quite comfortable, quite frankly. Just want to say thank you very much to KP for donating a £5. Thank you very much indeed, sir. I'm afraid. No, it's there. There we go. Let's have a read out what he said. We're proving match on match. We're not just a counter-attacking team. Therefore, teams have to think twice about giving us possession. I thought possession, we were decent in the way that we controlled the game. As I say, we were just winning the ball in the middle and getting it wide. It was very, very good, certainly. I thought Everton, we spoke about this in the build-up show or in the Patreon breakfast, certainly. They didn't press us. They let our back line have it. I thought this might happen. I mentioned it in the forum video yesterday. And because, now that's fine. What you're going to do is let the centre-backs have the ball, which they did let our centre-backs have the ball. That's fine. But the moment we pass it into midfield, then you've got to press and you've got to really start to impose yourself on the midfielders. They didn't. They let our centre-backs pass it to Declan Rice on Thomas Souček, both of whom had a really good first half, I thought. And they were able to play it wide. I just thought we were in real control there. We had more pressure than them. We had more possession than them. Ironically enough, it got to some way through that initial first half. The stats popped up on the screen. West Ham had 75% possession or something like that, but both teams had equally had about 4 shots off target, and I think that's quite telling. A lot of the stuff was off target today. I don't think both teams were quite firing. There were some hairy moments in the match. Antonio went down. I know what you were thinking, what I was thinking. Is he injured? Is that it? Well, he looked all right. He finished the game as well. What's going to happen in what's going to happen in Europe? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But we find ourselves in a strong position. And if I remember correctly, because I looked at the league table before, I'm just going to bring it up now. West Ham are 6th on the same points as Everton, who have had a good. Let's put this into context. I believe that was Everton's first home loss of the season, and Everton will be all right. Everton will be a decent team. I think that's a really, really good win. An entertaining match, no, but a good win against a decent team. And West Ham got the same points, which is 14, as Man United and Everton. Man United a little bit ahead of us. What a one on goal difference. So basically, we're all tied 5th. And now you look back and you think, oh, God, couple of small margins, the Brentford thing, and then obviously the penalty against Man United. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is a fantastic position. Look, do you know what? We'll contextualise what the victory means in terms of the league table in other videos. For now, we're just going to look at what happened in the game as a review. Anyway, it's half time. And I found it all a little bit weird, actually. I don't mean half time. It was 15 minutes in the middle of a match. That wasn't weird. Exactly what I expected. However, the way we came out was awful. I mean, I thought West Ham were awful. Now, don't get me wrong. Rafa Benitez changed something. And I think it was possibly Carragher who was commentating on the telly. He he said that they put another man in midfield, and possibly they did, but I felt, well, that didn't really matter because we weren't particularly contesting it there in the first half anyway. But we came out, and that's fine, but we gave the ball away. I think in the first 90 seconds, we gave the ball away 3 times in the second half. It's like, oh, no. And I make the joke sometimes if they've been given Valium at half time or they've been drinking their Horlicks. Honestly, I looked at it and I thought, has David Moyes been reading them a bedtime story or something? Because, really? Oh no! This is really, really bad. Very early in that second half, Ogbonna, who played well today, of course he played well. He scored a goal. Did a wonderful block from Iwobi, a really, really important block. And because I felt they would have scored from that. West Ham were the best team in that first half, right? For about 20, yeah, up until about 60 odd minutes. Everton were a better team in the second half. They started getting first to balls and that our technique was starting to tell, our lack of technique, because we didn't pass it well. We didn't control the ball particularly well. Not all over the pitch. Declan Rice did. Declan Rice was outstanding with his technique today. Declan Rice, I keep saying this, but I feel like we constantly have to justify Declan Rice to other teams' fans until we play them. Then I think they get it. And I think today, if you're an Everton fan, you didn't know what Declan Rice is all about, you might have watched that game today and thought, okay, as good as Decore is, as good as Alan might be, Declan Rice is better. He was the best midfielder on the pitch today. But really good. But I did think I could just see Jordan in the chat. They're making a point about Souček. Souček was good against today. I felt where we started to get control of the game probably after about 62, 63 minutes. But we lacked the cutting edge. And I feel that was because Antonio and Benrahma weren't really linking. I thought up there they weren't really on it today. I thought their technique and their game awareness, if you like, their football brain sort of let them down a little bit, but there was no lack of effort. I mean, Fornells was probably the worst culprit in that. I gave the ball away. In fact, I actually wrote down somewhere, I can't even remember where it was. I wrote down somewhere, Everton's 2 best chances in the first half came from Fornells giving them the ball. But he just worked hard and he doesn't stop, and you understand why he's in the team. It's just a fantastic work rate. And David Moyes puts these players into the team, and it doesn't matter if they're passing, their radar is a little bit off. You know you're going to get a performance of endeavour, of grit and determination. And that's what won it out for West Ham today. I did think we had the better players. I do think we were the better team. But I also thought that we had the most desire today as well. I thought, honestly, I just thought we wanted it a little bit more come the end of the game. Rafa switched tactics on David Moyes. We know that. And I was thinking about David Moyes. Is David Moyes going to switch tactics? How's he going to counter it? And I actually believe that it was a forced circumstance that made David Moyes change formation. We'll get to that in a second because first of all, we'll get to the goal, which I know I mentioned earlier on. It was a header from a corner from Ogbonna, a good header, a flicked. Tell me, did it again. Did it the wrong way around. Sort of flicked. That's it. Bit of a flicked header there. It's weird. I watch a camera. I'm watching it in reverse. So really, it's more like. But anyway, he flicked the header. It was a good flicked header from a corner. The interesting one was how the corner was won, as I mentioned earlier on in the video. Antonio contested the ball with Pickford. Pickford didn't like it, but there were no arms up. There was no elbow in his face or anything like that. It was fair, and it was enough to put Pickford off. And Pickford flapped the ball. Nice to have an opposing goalkeeper flapped the ball for a corner, and we scored from the resulting corner. Really, really good. Absolutely delighted with that. Okay, then we had a really strange situation, which was this is interesting. Basically, Thomas Souček had to go off for stitches. All right. Now his midfield counterpart, his midfield opposition, Alan, who had a very, very good game, particularly in the second half. I thought basically Alan stepped on his face. However, I don't think it was a red card. And it's important for me to say this because You've got to have validity, because there will be games when I moan about a red card and think something's a red card. And that point, I mean it. I didn't think that was a red card. I don't think he meant to do it. I do think it was accidental. That being said, Souček still did get stamped on in the face. Now, I'm not suggesting that Alan should have had a punishment then, but West Ham and Souček were definitely the victims. West Ham shouldn't have been punished. Okay. Which we were, because we had to play, I don't know, a little bit with 10 men, basically. And it was, I don't know if there can be something done with football where there's a little blood bin or something like that, because Souček was undoubtedly injured. He's actually had stitches, and he was getting booed. I mean, he had to laugh, really. Souček was getting booed for having the audacity to bleed when he'd been stamped in the face, right? As I said, I don't think it was intentional. But at that point, I just wonder if that was the only point I thought maybe Everton might be able to come back into this. But fortunately, we saw it out, and this is what happened, because it forced a change of circumstance for where the circumstances forced a change of tactics for West Ham. So what David Moyes did, there was no way that Souček was going to get back in time. He had to make a substitution. Krau wasn't on the bench. So normally you thought he perhaps would have brought Krau on as the direct substitution for Souček. That didn't happen because Krau wasn't on there. So he brought Dawson on. So he went to, I thought it was a 5-3-1-1, if there is such a formation, basically. That's how I felt we played. And I thought at that point, because Everton had been better in the second half, I thought actually at that point, the irony is that actually the stamp on Souček's face probably saw the game out, because I don't think there was enough time for Rafa to deal with it tactically and switch. And I didn't feel that he had the answer. He didn't do anything about it. And actually, West Ham looked better after we'd switched formation. And we know in players like Ben Johnson, Aaron Cresswell, we've got some versatile players who are not just fullbacks. If they want to play in different positions, and Aaron Cresswell can play left wing back, or centre back. Johnson, we know, can play right back, right wing back, left wing back. These are versatile players. So we had the flexibility in the team for the switch of formation, certainly. And we started to create a couple more chances again after that, just because I thought the shape was different. It certainly negated anything that Everton thought they could do. Look, I didn't think we played the best Everton team today. But as I said in the build-up, I do think they've got a very, very good manager. And I think, like West Ham, they can... I think like West Ham, it doesn't matter who you take out of the team, because of the system, because of the organisation, because of how good Rafa Benitez is. I think they'll always be competitive. And they were, yes, so they were missing. Certainly, Richarlison would have done a better job than Iwobi, who's not a very good player. Let's be perfectly honest. And certainly, I think it's been a massive waste of money. And you have to say that Calvert-Lewin would have been significantly better than Rondon, who didn't look particularly good today. That being said, that might have we missed Souček today, in as much as we didn't quite pose a threat from fullback going forward on that side. That being said, I think Johnson did a really good job today, defensively. And it's really useful actually to have a genuinely two-footed player on the pitch. So, sorry, I'm just reading here. Have I got it wrong? It was Rondon, was it not, Alan, that stamped on Souček's face there? Apologies if I got that wrong. I say apologies, but it made it stamps on his face, was it? But I just want to say, I don't think it was a red card. By the way, I just do not think that was a red card. The booking for Antonio while on it, very early doors, Antonio got a booking for simulation. I don't think he tried to dive, because I don't particularly think he claimed for it. If what you do is do a massive dive and you say, where's that? I think you've got two choices in that situation. I think Antonio saw the challenge coming and he moved out of the way. Now, what you see a lot of players do now, they leave their foot in. So it looks like they've been caught and they win it. I think Antonio didn't leave his foot in, basically. I just think sometimes it's not anything. Sometimes it's just carry on playing. It's just not a foul. Carry on, for the referee to say carry on. I don't think you have to book him for that. In the same way, I don't think the stamp on the face was anything. I mean, you've got to stop the play because it's a head injury, right? But But, was Souček feigning it? No, clearly he's bleeding. Did the guy did the guy intentionally stamp on his face? No, he was just trying to sprint away. Just seems like sometimes everything's got to have a definitive answer, and I'm not sure you necessarily need it. All in all, I think Everton have had a very good start to the season. We're level on points with them. I think they'll do well. I really do. But as I said at the very start of this video, styles make fights. And it's the same with football. If you're a tall boxer that's jabbing, you want someone coming in and swinging at you. We had a couple of jabbers basically today, and I think West Ham did really well. We're learning to be that possession based team, and again, I said it in yesterday's video on the forum channel that I wasn't sure that Everton would recognise David Moyes as the way he is now. He is metamorphosising into a coach that's building an attacking team. I feel you can tell when we're faced with a good defence, and they did have a good defence. I thought they blocked really well, Everton, that we don't quite have the craft or that final ball to open people up. We're much better as a counter-attacking team. And I think that's why you got a bit of a stale encounter today at times. I felt you got Everton, who wanted to be a counter-attacking team, and you got West Ham, who really want to be a counter-attacking team. I think you see both teams almost at their best when you play a team like Leeds, if you know what I mean. I think a team like that play into West Ham's hands. I think a team like that play into Everton's hands. But I think they're going to have a good season. I really do. I think they're going to be really good. But more important, and I'm talking about Everton there. So, but we've not done bad against them. I grew up with Everton being one of the West Ham's bogey teams. We seem to do pretty well against them in recent years. So I'm pleased, certainly, to put that one to bed. I looked at it when Yerry Mina was warming up as well, looking how close he was to the crowd. And it's not for me to say. It's not my stadium. I do wonder if they're going to miss that stadium. And I say that as a West Ham fan who misses his stadium. It's so close to the pitch. It's such a lovely, lovely, lovely old ground. It really is. Really intimate. Really... Okay, I didn't think the crowd got on top of our players, particularly today. But I just think it's a special stadium. I really do. Anyway, so for West Ham, just to finish up, a really good result for us. I think this finally, until we win after a European game, we won't have put that to bed. So I think there's a difference in argument. Is the European campaign affecting our overall campaign? No. Look at us. We're in 5th. We got 6 points the first 2 games in Europe. No. That's a separate argument to, is the European campaign affecting directly the next league game we play? I don't know. Until we win, we won't be able to put that argument to bed. But actually, you look, we're still in the League Cup. Yes, I know we've got to play Man City. Look at today, joint 5th in the league. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Individual performances, we always go through individual performances, don't we? I mean, I can see a lot of people agree with what I'm talking about there. Declan Rice was sensational today. What can I say about him that I haven't said already? And I don't just mean all the time. What can I say about him I haven't said in this video? I just thought he was the best midfielder on the pitch. I felt he ran the show. Just gets better and better and better. Sorry, I started to read the chat there, and people are debating about whether Souček was stamped on deliberately. I didn't think so. I didn't think so. I really didn't. I would hope not as well. I mean that's not a nice thing. I was far more disappointed, I've got to say, with Souček getting booed for daring to bleed. Honestly, it's the worst. Football fans at their worst, I've got to say, when that happens. What would you do? I mean, every one of them booing. What are they going to do? Sit there and allow studs? I mean, you've all seen a pair of modern football boots. They're all blades on the back. The guy was on the floor. He's gone for stitches. I tell him, a moronic attitude. I say that as someone that sat here and praised Everton for pretty much the last 24 minutes. But I did think it was absolutely moronic for that to happen, actually, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Anyway, West Ham, onwards and upwards. Fair play to Zuma at the end. Wonderful block. Great block at the end. Which was important. I mean, you know, that would have been 1-1. It would have been 1-1, and it wouldn't have been deserved 1-1 at all. The defence did really, really well today. Little bit of indecision again from Fabianski. Did you see it? Don't want to dwell on it too much. Myself and Gio will be doing our player ratings video tomorrow. Okay, just so as you know, our Patreon player ratings video will be tomorrow because Gio's gone to the game today, and we're going to do it in the morning because it'd be nice for us to be. Well, it's nice for us to do a video together over the weekend, basically. Anyway, enjoy what's left of your weekend. It ain't much. Maybe you're going to go and watch the Tottenham and Newcastle game. Maybe you're all Newcastled out. Maybe you've had enough. It wound me right up. We're watching the West Ham game, and there was like a little section like this big going across the screen, basically like that. Well, they had the Newcastle team. Basically, they put West Ham in a little corner of the screen. When the West Ham is actually playing, they got the Newcastle team getting off the coach. And don't go, you know what I mean? Leave it out. Sick of it. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. So maybe you're sick of it. Maybe you'll go and watch it. Maybe some of you are hoping Tottenham are just going to get a hiding. Maybe some of you are hoping Newcastle will get a hiding because you're so sick of them. I know at least of 2 West Ham fans who have said to me today that they would quite like Tottenham to beat Newcastle. So there you go. Anyway, as Steve says, adios, one and all. Adios. There were times during that game I wasn't so sure, but that's really good now. I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna go and look at the league table again. Oh, just finally before you go, see this Manscaped men's grooming kit. Very good kit, very lovely. Go on to Manscaped, the website, and if you put in a discount code, if you have a look, if there's something you fancy there, when you go to checkout, put in a discount code Hammers Chat, or one word Hammers Chat, and you get 20% off. There you go. Don't matter if you weren't going to buy one, don't buy one. But if you were going to go and do some men's grooming, it don't have to be downstairs. Can be upstairs as well, obviously. Then type in a discount code, and there you go. You're welcome. I've got a free T-shirt out of it anyway. Right. Anyway, I'll catch up with you later. Enjoy the game, and we will be back. European campaign this week. European campaign. We're back.